everybody. I am James the Man's Man, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Man's Kitchen. In today's episode, we're going to be making stuffed chickens. Now, the first thing you want to get ready for your stuffed chickens will be your stuffing. And I've already got this a little bit ready. What I've got here is some spinach, cream cheese, and feta cheese. Now, normally what we do at the restaurant is we put this into a bowl, we mix it up, we put it in a piping bag. However, at home, my piping bag's broken, so I had to throw it out. So what else you can do is you can roll them into little logs and put them in the freezer for a few minutes to firm them up. Our other flavor we're doing is ham and cheese, and I like to roll them into rolls like this. So to do that, we're just going to lay out some ham, 2 pieces, put some cheese on it, and then we're just going to roll it. This is what's going to go into our chickens. There. Okay, so now we have our chicken breasts, and I'm going to show you how to pocket them. So what we're going to want for this is a boning knife. And anytime we grab one of our knives out, give it a couple passes on the steel. Now the technique for doing this is simple. Just lay your chicken breast out on your cutting board. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the knife in, and you can feel for it. Okay, you can see we didn't come out, we didn't blow through on either side. And all you got to do is work it back and forth in a fanning motion. You're going to come along the edge here, nice and slow. Turn the knife over if you want. Come back at it the other way. Okay. Now, the only problem that you're going to have is that you're going to notice you have a giant pocket inside and you have an itty bitty hole because it's only the size of the knife. So you can cut your hole open a bit. And we're going to pocket all 4 of these chicken breasts. Put the knife in. Okay, if you need to flip it over to make sure that you didn't come through. And if you came through, it's not that big of a deal. Okay. At the restaurant, sometimes we have to do 100 of these at a time when we do weddings. So you get to go real fast at this after a while. Okay. So while you're doing all of this work, remember you should have your oven preheated to 350 degrees convection, or 400 degrees without convection. Okay, now that all 4 chickens are pocketed, I'm going to put my knife in the sink. Grab my stuffing from earlier. We're going to use, some of these we're going to make spinach. You can just tear the hole open a bit if you need to make it fit, but your stuffing should just slide right in. And if you have a piping bag, then you can use the mix. You can just put the piping bag right into here and pipe it. What we usually like to do is we like to keep one piping bag separate for that we use for this kind of stuff, and we don't like to mix up with the bag we use for pastries. Okay. Now the ham is going to be a little trickier because the ham is not as soft, I guess, as the not soft. It sticks. There's no lubricant here, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So you gotta work it in a bit. And with the harder cheeses like this, like mozzarella, it's okay if your end looks like this because it's not gonna pour out. And then our last one. The spinach ones, they tend to slide in a lot easier. Okay. So now we have our chickens in there, and we haven't destroyed the chicken breast. We haven't cut it open, flipped it around, we haven't done anything silly to it. So now we have our 4 chicken breasts ready to go, and it's okay if this happens because we're going to be breading these. So now we're going to set up a breading station and we're going to bread these chickens. Okay, now that we have our breading station set up here, I have flour, egg wash, egg and milk, and breadcrumbs. And I also have my baking pan. So we're going to do a wet hand and a dry hand. And this is very similar to the breading process used in my chicken parmesan video. I'll link that below in the description. So all we're going to do is we're going to take our chicken with our wet hand. Our wet hand's going to touch raw product and egg. So we're going to put that in the bowl. We're going to mix it all around here. Get it nice and floured. Because flour sticks to everything. Okay? We're going to drop that in the egg. We're going to go back to our wet hand. Egg sticks to flour. We're going to go into the breadcrumbs. If you're going to be doing a lot of these, you might want to use bigger bowls. Okay. If you want to get it around here, you might want to give it a second dip in the egg. And then more into the breadcrumb. But the ham is really going to hold the cheese in. The cheese and the ham are going to stick together and they're going to stay in there. What you have to watch out for is if you're making your stuffing with a softer cheese like brie leaks everywhere. So when we do brie cheese chickens at the restaurant, we always cut our brie half and half. Brie cheese and cream cheese. Because cream cheese actually holds better under the heat, and brie cheese will just turn into an oily mess. Okay, so we're in our last chicken now. Okay, I'm gonna go back in here on the end. Okay, now our chickens are ready. We're gonna wash up before we grab anything else. Okay, so now we're just gonna put a little salt and pepper on these. So in this video, I was teaching you the method on how to stuff the chicken. The stuffing's really up to you. You can do whatever you want. I showed you how to do the ham and cheese stuffing. In the Florentine mix, all we had in there was spinach, cream cheese, and feta cheese. And what we used was the frozen spinach nuggets. And all we did was cook them up in the frying pan to get the water out of it, and then mix it in with the cheese. And it's easier if you do that when it's hot. So I put some salt and pepper on here for seasoning. And I poured some oil on these. I'm just rubbing them around. And this way you can make sure that since you have the salt and pepper on the top of the chicken, when you flip it over and rub it around, you end up getting salt and pepper on the disc. So that gets the bottom of the chickens. Okay, we're going to put these in our convection oven at 350 degrees. And if you don't have convection, you're going to put them into a standard dead air oven at 400 degrees. We're going to put these in there for between 20 to 25 minutes. We're going to start checking them at 15 minutes though. Okay, so I just got back in from snow blowing, and these chickens are just about done. We have our 4 finished stuffed chickens, 2 of each flavor. I'm going to put these on a dish. I'm going to put them in the fridge, and the family's going to get to reheat these and enjoy them while I'm at work. So if you enjoyed the video, please hit like and subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos. If you want to support the channel, please look in the description below for my Patreon and Teespring links. Remember, I am James the Man's Man, and this was The Man's Kitchen.